I'm sorry, Father. I failed. Please forgive me. Focus.
All right, so I wanted to show that animation because I don't think people understand how deep these comics go, bro. Like they are really deep. Just because it's Ninja Turtles is like catered towards kids, like da 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 da. Like the Last Ronin is super deep, and the full clip to that animation is in the there's a link for it in the bio, so I would definitely go check that out. It's so sick. But yeah, bro, I'm gonna be talking about the Last Ronin, kind of like what I want from it, what I expect from it, and stuff like that, because I think this game will really be a masterpiece if they do everything right. But I also think it's super easy to mess this one up, and it can be a total disaster, like I think very easily. And I think Black Forest Games is, I don't know. I think they have potential, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm gonna get straight into this video and start talking about the analysis. So if you already read the comics and everything, you could probably just skip this, but pretty much The Last Ronin is a futuristic, semi-futuristic Ninja Turtle game where all the turtles are dead except one, which I'm not going to say which one because it's kind of fun to figure it out when you read the comic and everything. But then the theme of The Last Ronin is just like loss and vengeance and like identity and all that stuff, and it's like a real dark, mature take on the TMNT universe, bro. And the art and storytelling is so good, bro. So good. Like, you just got to get the comic. You got to get your hands on the comic. So that's why I'm just saying if they could really, really do it right for the game, it's going to be a banger, bro. It's going to be a straight up banger. But I'm not going to go too deep into the story because I don't want to spoil anything. So I think maturing with the audience is a real big topic because I think a lot of series of shows and movies and stuff have like really had a hard time balancing this. So I'm gonna use the example of the MCU and The Boys. So the MCU's been under a lot of criticism because like people think they're too childish and goofy.
Bro, I'm really about to get your pickle chin that boy. Hey, go that concrete here, that boy. Oh, here now, boy, your dirt ass, but stink ass, boy.
Which I have to kind of agree with lately. Whereas The Boys, like they found a lot of success for being more mature, realistic, like superheroes. That's not to say the MCU needs to be as gruesome and stuff as The Boys, but there's no doubt that the MCU's definitely taken a step back and gotten more like goofy, right? But this is exactly what the Last Ronin is doing. It's kind of like the TMNT series is in a similar situation, the way I see it with Marvel, where they have like a large young audience and then they also have like a large older audience who grew up with the series. But I think that they do it perfect by like catering towards both age groups, because like you have like Mutant Mayhem that literally just came out. That's like a kids movie. I mean, I enjoyed it personally. But my point is they have Mutant Mayhem, which is for like catered towards a younger audience, but then they have stuff like The Last Ronin, which is towards like a more mature audience, right? I think why like companies kind of like censor their content a little bit is because they think it'll reach a broader audience. But I think when they do that, it winds up just reaching less of an audience because it's not accurate to the source material. But I think Marvel and stuff is starting to realize that because they're about to get like the first rated R MCU movie, like Deadpool and stuff like that. But we're not here to talk about Marvel. So now that we're talking about like maturity and stuff like that, we're gonna go talk about the All right, so the game rating is probably, debatably, the most important topic in my opinion, man. This game's got to be rated M, bro, to capture the full feel of the comics and everything. And I think it, for the most part, it's what everybody wants. So I think this is why I think it will be rated M. Source material, obviously, you should, the less you stray away from the source material, the better. These devs and fucking movie makers and everybody need to learn that. The fans want it. All right. And then it won't hold the devs back, so they don't gotta hold back like the blood and gore and all that stuff. You know what I mean? They don't have to hold back the violence. They can just go full throttle, boom, make this game as violent as possible. I sound like a psychopath, but I don't know what to tell you, bro. Okay, and then this is why I think it'll probably be rated T. These are just reasons why it could either be rated M or rated T. And then, so all right, so for rated T, I think to grab a wider audience, even though I think this almost always backfires, I think sticking to the source material is always more effective than like censoring it. You know what I mean? So like, but I don't know, man. These devs and producers and everybody, they just still insist to do it. I think they're always trying to grab a wider audience, and then it winds up biting them in the ass. So, and then the other reason is because Nickelodeon still holds the rights to TMNT, but I mean, the comic came out while Nickelodeon had the rights to TMNT, so you could debunk that with this. But I mean, you know, it's still something to think about. Those are the only reasons I could really think of. Like I said, I think this is an important topic. It's like a quick topic, straightforward topic, but I mean, that's my insight on all of that. So now I'm gonna go on to the So when this game first got announced, it got announced with the news that it was going to be a God of War style game. So I think what that means is it's going to be like over the shoulder type of thing. I'd like to see 4 different upgradable styles of fighting depending on the weapon you use. So, you know, you got like the katana, nunchucks, staff, and then the sais, and like some sort of upgradable, kind of like Ghost of Tsushima kind of thing. That's how I kind of like a different stance, different style, but depending on each weapon you use, and then upgrading each of those branches. I just want like a fun hack and slash gameplay against like a variety of enemies that were in the comics with like smooth, loose ninja movement. You know what I mean? Because I think with God of War movement, I think it could feel a bit slow at times, which worked amazing for that game, and I loved it. But I feel like in this, like you're literally like a fully matured Ninja Turtle. I want to be moving. I want to be rolling. I want to be jumping. Like I want it to be smooth, quick gameplay like a ninja. You know what I mean? Gameplay is pretty straightforward as well. I don't really think they could go too wrong with this as long as they stick to the over the shoulder, smooth, like different upgradable style type of thing. You know what I mean? So now I'm going to talk about the This is probably what I'm second most excited for with this game. The first most excited is going to come next. I'm going to talk about it next. But, I mean, it's really straightforward as well. I mean, what I'm noticing about this game as I record is, like, they have the blueprint. Follow the comic, and everything will go well. Like, I can't even stress that. But I think when I think of the environment of this game, this might sound really weird, but I think of Stray. I don't know if you know, like anybody played that game, but it's like a cyber city, futuristic, weird, super colorful, yet really like creepy, dark tone. And it's like, when I think of the environment, the futuristic cyber city, New York, I think of like a Stray type of vibe. Obviously bigger, more open world, of course. I want a dark tone, but I want a colorful, bright city, cyborgs everywhere. I want people walking all over the streets. I want it to be crowded, because in the comics, it was like crowded. Everybody was crammed in. There was walls and gates and all this stuff. Everybody was stuck. I want like a good, dark, but colorful, rainy vibe, cyber city, New York. All right, so next is the most important one, which is the narrative is very important to me, because that is my favorite part about this comic, is the story, the narrative. Number one thing, I'm gonna say it again, I've said it a million times already, they gotta stick to the source material, bro. If they don't, they will regret it. They will regret it. This is a very beloved story, so if they don't stick to the source material, they are gonna hear it, I guarantee it. So the main concept, which is kind of like gameplay slash narrative, but I think this would be so sick, like to the narrative, is for each turtle's death, there should be a level 4. So we get to play every single turtle in this game, yet one survives. And for the people that don't know which turtle is alive, I think it would be cool. It's like, oh, it's not him because he just died. I just played that level. He just died. Oh, it's not him. So is it him or him? But yeah, so like I think it would be really, really cool, especially for the people that haven't experienced it yet. But in the comic, they kind of give away who the turtle is in like the beginning-ish. Like it's not, they don't really go that long without. But I don't know. I still just think either way, having a level dedicated to each turtle's death would be awesome, bro. Because this game is the Last Ronin, but all of the turtles are still in it. You know what I mean? All of the turtles, you know, there's different chapters that go into each of the turtles' deaths in the comic. So in the game, I think it would be cool to do the same thing, except you play as them. And then also, like, something with the comic is the Last Ronin hears the voices of his brothers. So they are still in the comic, and they do talk in the comic because he's kind of like hallucinating. He's kind of going a little crazy. And so he hears their voices, and they're still talking to them or talking to him. And he has kind of like internal dialogue with them throughout the whole story. So, I mean, look, man, stick to the narrative on this one. Or, I'm sorry, stick to the source material on this one, just like all the others. Let's have a level for each turtle's death so that we get to play and experience all the turtles. And the narrative is going to be a banger, bro. Again, they have the blueprint. They got the blueprint. Just follow it, bro. All in all, man, these were just my opinions. I'm super excited, so I just wanted to talk about them. But look, if you haven't read the comics, I would definitely read them. Check out the full animation. The link is in my bio from the beginning of the video. And that's all I got, man. So, peace.